Hello everyone, and welcome to the 137th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me as always is my friend, co-host, and we have a couple directions. I don't know which personal life thing you want to get into. I could either talk about the state of your flat or the state of your upcoming flat. New flat having, buddy?
Hopefully.
Possibly. Finding out
Possibly.
soon?
I'll have found out by the time this one goes up.
Let's
if
go.
I am moving into this new flat I went to view. So, fingers crossed.
So, the pod boys moving up in the world? Well, to start this pod off, I think today we're just going to be doing some news, some mini reviews. That's it. And we're going to catch up
on the pod off.
on the announcements and such later. Some Cnews, of course. We got some good news here. We're talking She-Hulk. We're talking The Boys. Talking Daredevil, Margot, Robbie, Christopher Walken. Lots of good stuff. And Woody Harrelson shitting. So stay tuned for that.
I cannot wait for that.
So there are time codes down below if you want to skip around. First, though, I feel we should talk. You have a little anecdote you want to tell.
I do.
You did in fact have another.
I did in fact
BHL
have
dream.
another. I did in fact have another BHL Hudson dream. This is a very weird and strangely sexual title of it, but I wrote it down in my notes extensively here.
Oh God, you've been teasing this for a few weeks now, so I'm very.
It's very strange compared to the last one. It's a lot more enjoyable.
Okay, yeah, last one. I was.
Last one you were chased by an old woman who you then hit with a baseball bat.
It is what it is. It was a dream, to be clear.
Also, I won't lie. I don't know what this psychic connection is, but I never ever remember my dreams, and yet I remember every single one of you.
When BHL Hudson is involved,
you cannot forget, unless I want you to, in which case you will most definitely forget. So the title of this one is.
You give it a title.
The title of the notes.
Okay.
Crocodile Dream.
Oh goodness. Okay. All right. I assume this one doesn't involve me like assaulting the elderly as your previous one did.
Well.
Okay.
Just you wait. No. So this is honestly, it's so weird to talk about this now because this was it happened like 2 weeks ago. But I was like, I'm going to tell you about this dream on the pod. Then we forgot, and now 2 or 3 pods later, I've got a great dream to tell you about. Anyways. So, in this dream, let me quickly relive it.
Okay.
So, I'm standing at the top of a bridge/dam, like a very big one, right?
Okay.
You're at the bottom on the side of the dam where there's like little to no water, okay?
Okay.
You've got a football. You kick the football up to me over the dam.
Okay.
Onto the other side where there's a lot of water. It skims a bit. It looks very cool. We both, we celebrate.
Okay, an accurate depiction of what would happen.
There is suddenly movement by one of the plastic flasks that has appeared. I don't know why there's plastic flasks all of a sudden, but I believe the ball you kicked over suddenly grew like a fishing line, and attached to that was a flask that I could grab somehow.
Pollution metaphor here? A little social commentary?
I guess. Little political and social commentary here. This is a very deep dream, this. I grabbed the flask, aka like the handle of the fishing line rod. I think it's a big fish, and I start hauling it in with my hands, George style.
Okay.
Is what I've written here.
This is what you thought in your head in the dream. This is George style.
I suspect it's BHL's mother because it fights and is very heavy.
Hey yo!
No, I didn't write that. But I thought it. I'm sitting here. Oh, it's probably a big fish. I'm like hauling it in. Oh, it's tough. All right. You come to help me. We eventually get it onto like the river bank, like on the side, which then somehow magically turned into like the top of a cliff. So we've like basically hauled it up the side of a cliff, and now it's at the top of this cliff, like the overhang onto the lake.
Okay. Then,
turns out it is a huge 5 to 6 meter crocodile.
Goodness.
That we've hauled out of the water. And then it turns out it was like a local like swimming lake that a lot of locals went to, and people kept disappearing. Turns out the crocodile ate them.
Oh.
and we just saved, and it's been going on for like 30 years, and we just found the cause of it, and we saved the town, and we're crowned as heroes.
No way.
We have saved the town from an unknown threat. We are heroes, I say.
Wow. That's what a story. Great story of us being heroic. Very, very fun times. We're hero bros, kings of the campus, one could say.
It's the most unnatural thing for people to hear.
I would like to point out that in Doctor Strange 2, theory is posited that all of our dreams are other dimensions, real life happenings. So
Exactly.
there could be
big dub.
there could be alternate BHL and FTK wrestling crocodiles and having fun
Having
times.
good old time.
Well, okay, good stuff. I don't have anything that compares to that in terms of excellence story-wise. I do, however, have a slight note, which is very lame for me to, become aware of. But you know how Subway Surfers goes to different cities and countries? And it's like, Subway Surfers,
aware.
Tokyo. They're in Copenhagen this week. And I discovered it this morning. And I was...
So after this epic dream, I've got even more epic news. Subway Surfers are in Copenhagen, y'all.
And I have to say, it looks absolutely nothing like Copenhagen. Big disappointment. But the trains do look like the trains. They got the S trains. They got the red S trains. They got the gray S trains. Ooh. I appreciate that attention to detail. Everything else, though, trash. But shout out Subway Surfers, I guess, for going
Big
to
Subway Surfers enthusiast.
Well, on that note, what a intense start. We're going to move on to mini reviews. And first mini review... I only have one, actually, and I'm not going to talk too much about the movie. I'm going to talk more about the experience, because I did see Mr. Doctor in the Multiverse of Doctor Strange 2.
Yes.
Again.
Again?
I saw it for the second time with your boy Yassine, as you do. And I have to say, just in terms of the movie, I actually really enjoyed it the second time, weirdly. I actually liked it a lot more the second time, and I liked it so much more that I actually rewrote my review, and I'm going to re-record it, because I felt... I mean, look, I still definitely feel a similar way, but there were some pretty big points that I was like, okay, this isn't as bad as I remember, and kind of a different way of watching it, where I'm going to leave it...
The whisper from the mouth really got you good this time. You're like, this is brilliant writing.
God, that still pissed me off. Yeah, I still looked at Yassine when that happened. I was like, I can get fucking damn it. But there was also... I'll talk about this more in my review, but there was kind of like watching it a little bit more accepting of it being like this sort of like silly kind of nerdy superhero thing. I talk about this in my review more eloquently, I guess. But I just got more of that out of the experience. But yeah, there's still some dumb stuff. Whisper from the mouth. Still hate that. But I will say I saw it again for the second time in 4DX, which may have also... God. I would assume it would make the experience so much worse. But it actually made it excellent. When Wong yelled, "Fortify your minds," they threw water at us to mimic his spit. They didn't really. But it was...
When Wong got naked, they flopped us with a huge balloon animal, mimicking his mahoosive testicles.
The 4DX, for those who don't know, is the seats move and they spray you with water, and there's like... Have you ever been in the 4D in Lyngby?
I haven't been in the 4D one in Lyngby. I've been in I think I've been in Disney World. I went to like a 4D or a 5D Spider-Man ride.
No, yeah, like but it's like a cinema, like it's tailored to the movie, and they like blow air at you. They even have smells at one point. It made me laugh quite a bit that there was only one time that they put a smell in the film, and it was in fact when Wanda Maximoff is introduced, and they put like a nice strawberry scent. And I found it amusing, given our Wanda Maximoff conversation last week, which for context, go listen to that. But I just thought it was funny, like the one time they're like, "What scent can we put in here?" They're like, a nice strawberries. You know, Wanda, she deserves a nice little strawberry scent to come into the cinema.
And then there's just massive fart noises and smells when Wong is introduced.
I don't know. It was just, it's such a ridiculous, stupid thing that I would never want to see for a movie like the first time, I guess. Even though I'm pretty sure I did that with Solo, which is kind of an L. But I don't know. It's kind of fun. Like the traveling through multiverses and shit was like, I mean, the seats move a surprising amount, and it's also funny beforehand they have this warning that makes it seem like you're about to go on a fucking like rocket ship. They're like, "Please do not get up anytime. If you are pregnant or have children or have any kind of injury, please leave the cinema right now." And I was like, Jesus Christ, like It's a fucking...
And then they took me for the ride of my life.
And then they put a strawberry scent in. No, yeah, it was kind of fun. I did almost get motion sickness towards the start because I'd forgotten how fucking like intense the seats moved. But yeah, a good time. And I have to say, regardless of that, although maybe it enhanced it, who knows, I did actually enjoy Doctor Strange 2 quite a bit more the second time around. So, but look
Very
at the
good,
BHL Hudson YouTube channel for my thoughts on that.
Ooh, what can we get a little BHL updated review of it, or like not review, rating of it?
I think I'd go closer to I think I was like a 7.2 originally. I think I'd move that to like a 7.8 or 7.9.
Ooh, either not quite as good or as good as Black Mass.
It's on that Black Mass level, you know.
God, that's an excellent movie. Shakes head in disappointment. All right, well, I actually got 3 movies I can talk a bit about. Actually, 2 of them I can talk a bit about. One, kind of lame.
Okay.
So the first one, I'm not even joking, probably the most disturbing movie I've ever seen.
Okay. Should we put like a grossness warning in front of this mini review? Kind of intense warning?
I find it's very rare that I sit in a movie and I get grossed out by what's happening. I was like, surely not. It was like very intense.
Mickey Mouse's The Three Musketeers.
Fresh.
Ooh.
With a certain Sebastian Statham.
Yes, I saw the trailer for this and I thought it looked very good. Well, I mean, looked very interesting at least, but also very. No,
I didn't think it would be very good, but. And I honestly, I wasn't focusing that much on the acting. The acting itself, especially from the main girl, was actually quite good. But it was more like, I was just taken away by the grossest premise and like happenings in it. I was like, oh my god, it's so horrific.
Is it, without spoiling it, because I do think I'll watch it, possibly, is it a cannibal movie in some way?
Do you want me to spoil slightly? Like, I think it gives away most of it in the trailer. And
I think
like,
in the trailer there was something about cannibal-y kind of thing. You can, slight spoilers for Fresh.
Slight spoilers. Basically, I'll just say what his profession is, because you already know he's a bit of a psycho.
Mm.
Basically, what Sebastian Stan does is that he, in a very like Get Out-esque scenario, he pretends to date girls, then takes them to his like out like in the wilderness mansion manor kind of thing, chains them up and starts slowly like cutting away their body parts and selling them, and also eating them.
Oh, lovely. Good vibes.
Amazing vibes. Genuinely, I was sitting there, my jaw, and like some of the things happen like when they try and like the main girl and stuff like that. My jaw was on the floor. It is such a disturbing movie.
Did you see this in the cinema?
No, I didn't. I watched it at home.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. I didn't want to vomit in the cinema. But yeah, I recommend it. But it's a nasty watch. I won't lie. Also, I won't lie. There is, again, it's very, very disturbing, but it did make me laugh a lot. Do you mind if I spoil this one Sebastian Stan quote/happening? It's not a major spoiler.
Okay, yeah, hit me with it.
So, I won't say who, but one of the captives tries to get away and like tries to escape and stuff like that, right? And then he knocks the person out, and they wake up like on the after the operating thing, or like after he's done something to them, right? And they're like, the person's like, "What did you do to me?" And Sebastian just leans in really close and says, "You disobeyed me, so I took your ass." And he literally removed the butt cheeks of the person.
Okay, that's, I mean, obviously terrible and horrifying, but also just Sebastian Stan leaning in. I took your ass. Like, not in a metaphorical way, a literal sense.
Yeah, just
I stole your ass.
Your cheeks are gone.
They belong to me now.
Jay, I was like, oh my freaking god.
Jesus. Okay, that's intense. That's a lot. So, okay, sorry. I don't. Yeah, there are a lot of these movies. I feel like there've been quite a few in the past like 3 years that have had like, this kind of cannibal like body horror and they're all have one word titles. It's like fresh, like taste, like all these like
Anus.
stolen ass. Like I can't remember what the other one was, but whenever I see the trailer, I'm like, that looks, interesting and like it would be a shocking kind of thing. But also, I don't want to see that. I know, it's sort of like that's the kind of thing for some people. It's like it's gross, and that's like what makes it fun to watch, and like, oh my god, how horrible. But also, body horror just fucks with me. My my now ex-girlfriend, moment of silence. She wanted to watch one of them as well. It might have been Fresh, and I was like, I'm okay. I think
you should watch it, fairness, like, because despite the disturbing stuff, which, I mean, the disturbing stuff is what makes it a good movie partly, but the story and just like the acting in it is also pretty good.
That's the thing about those kind of movies, that like they also look like it like the atmosphere and the sort of the storytelling can be really great. It's just like that stuff that I guess makes it also puts me off it. But yeah, no, okay, fair enough. Fresh. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Sebastian Stan, you would recommend, I guess, to a certain, if you're up for that kind of thing.
I would recommend to a certain audience.
Yes.
Not for the faint of heart, I won't say.
Go on. What's your other one?
Very different movie, but this one of my favorite movies of all time. I rewatched The Last Samurai starring Cruise.
Cruise out there doing his
I will not lie, by far my favorite Cruise movie. And I also think the best Cruise performance in any of the movies I've seen.
Even more so than his star-turning role in Tropic Thunder? Even more so
rivals it
than his star-turning role in... Now let me tell you something. You've overstepped.
You've overstepped, okay? And now I'm going to eat your wife.
You've overstepped, and now I'm going to steal your ass. Just the interviewer's eyes widen. You didn't
follow the rules, so I took your ass.
The interviewer begins to scream, and the video cuts off.
God, that would be... Yeah.
Anyways, all right, Last Samurai, wonderful.
Last Samurai, such a good movie. Have you ever seen it? You haven't, right?
Mm-mm.
It's an epic. It's like it's not historically accurate, but it's like based on like the different like characters and stuff like that weren't real, but it's based on a French general who I believe like went and stayed with samurai in like the late 1800s and stuff like that. And it's just such a good movie. Like I'm already a bit of a like I'm very fascinated by the Japanese culture and everything like that. So like kind of seeing that in like seeing that extensively in a movie is just amazing. The action's really, really good, and there's some like really, really heartfelt moments in it as well. Just really, really good movie. Really, like I won't spoil anything. Did make your boy cry at one point.
Of course.
Patriots Day style, and I was like, and yeah, I just a thorough recommendation on it.
Yeah, everything I've seen from it seems like a film of epic proportions, like the scale, the kind of atmosphere, the action sequences, sort of like this
it's
sweeping
so
epic. Yeah. Also, do you own a kimono? I just want to ask.
I've worn a kimono. I do not own one anymore.
Okay. It was you lost it in the custody battle, I hear.
I did.
Fair.
But I would like to have a kimono.
When you said obsessed with Japanese culture, I did just immediately think of Schmidt and his kimono.
Now, I won't lie. My ex-girlfriend had a kimono of that exact same type.
I think that's why I remembered you having that at one point. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Maybe one day for your bachelor party, I'll take you to Tokyo.
God.
Anyway, Last Samurai, good stuff. And your
amazing stuff.
Final mini review.
Rewatched Civil War. God, what a stinky movie.
Of the Captain America variety?
Of the Captain America variety.
You think Civil War is stinky?
It's so, like, I don't know. Like, I remember not loving it the first time. I think I would give it like a 7 out of 10 or something like that. And I rewatched it yesterday. God.
What's stonky?
So annoying.
What'd you not like?
Everyone's in the wrong of just being a little, like, and there's no actual stake because no one actually ends up, like, fighting for real.
Excuse you, Don Cheadle plummets from the sky.
That's the only thing that happens. And, like, Vision doesn't even get any comeuppance for it because he just says, I was distracted. You're distracted? Bettany,
by Wanda
you nearly
Maximoff.
killed the man. I was distracted by Wanda Maximoff.
Tony's like, all right, I get that.
Honestly, if it was because of the Maximoff, I'd let Rhodey fall 10 times over.
I'd like to be clear, we did not come up with Maximoff. That is a thing from the comment section. Because I feel like that is not an okay thing to just keep going with. Anyway, but you didn't like the airport fight? You didn't like
the airport fight's
Spider-Man?
fun, but at the same time, it's like full of these like useless quips where it's like, we're still friends, right? Depends on how hard you hit me. I'm like, Hawkeye, you fall out of a tree.
he does have an eye contact moment with an owl in a Christmas tree. That is true.
Yeah. Everything you do is obsolete.
You didn't enjoy T'Challa. You didn't enjoy the I'm disappointed to see that there's a little bit of green in those perfect blue eyes. I don't know why I sound like I'm shitting when I talk like that. That's my Baron Zemo.
Like, obviously, I think it's probably the most Marvel-y movie because it's like, there's some epic things that happen, good fight scenes and stuff like that. But the actual, like, if you think about what's going on, everyone, like, Captain America keeps making so many stupid little shitty decisions, and then Tony's being a bitch, but he's also in the right, but he's also in the wrong. It just got me, it wound me up, I won't lie. I was like,
fair enough.
God, I was actually just annoyed by the end of the movie. I was like, God damn it, Captain America.
I'm a pretty big fan. I'd say I like that movie a lot, but I guess if you read into, as with a lot of Marvel movies, if you read into kind of the logic behind a lot of it,
I think I'll also say, I think before the next two Avengers movies and also like the next few Marvel movies, I think I would view it as a much better movie. But because of like the last few Avengers movies where there was where the stakes could not get any higher, right? And you sit there and feel like, oh, these stakes are insane, and people are actually dying and stuff like that. Then this one where it's like, should I be allowed to go on missions if the government don't say I can? It was like, shut up.
But that lowering the stakes makes it more personal, makes it more interesting, makes it more so Rhodey can fall out of the sky.
Okay, well, I mean, that is a highlight of the movie, but I'll say, I also, like, that was the one point in the movie I actually sat and laughed a bit, where it's like, you just see Cheadle's most confused face as he's absolutely just plummeting.
Fair enough, alright, controversial take. I hope you get some hate in the comments for that one, but,
we'll talk about this later as well, but, like, we got some hate in the last pod's comments, I think, from our Doctor Strange review.
Yes, I don't think we got hate. I'll check them, but I think we
got
some
death threats.
I think we got some disagreements. By the way, I'd like to say, my thoughts on Doctor Strange 2 did not change because of the comments, because I think, as our fans are aware, we are more than happy to shit all over things that people love, or to love things that people shit all over. See Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I will stand by. Again, even though I ultimately kind of like that movie, but we've just gone too far.
I will not be altered by people's opinions of the movie. Honestly, I do not like this movie, but I don't hate it.
Please don't hurt me. No, we are impenetrable to peer pressure. I just genuinely enjoyed the Mr. Doctor quite a bit more the second time. Again, see BHL Hudson for the full review. But yeah, we'll get to that later. Should we move on to things like news?
I think we should.
Oh, okay. It's the new news intro. Should we save the She-Hulk thing for later? Because I think we'll have a bit. You've seen the She-Hulk trailer, right?
I have.
Okay. Should we save that for later? Because I feel like we'll have a bit to say about that.
Yeah, let's save it.
All right. Did you see the trailer for The Boys Season 3? Trick question. I know because I sent it to you.
And I did see it.
And it looks great.
It looks just they're picking up from where they left off.
Yeah, more of the same, which is very good. We got I can't even really remember what happened at the end of the last season. I think something about his spoiler alert. Something about his
spoiler
kid.
alert, but
the woman, the Nazi woman.
The Nazi woman was killed.
Yes, that's it.
And then, but so was Billy Buster. What's his name?
Billy Butcher.
Billy Butcher. Billy Buster.
Billy Buster.
His wife was also killed.
Yes, and he has a kid.
And then he's got a kid, but it's Homelander's kid.
That's right. And now,
and then they got some like blackmail material on Homelander.
Yes,
the
plane or
So
something.
now, yeah, the
great recap. And then I think Billy Buster had a kid, but it's actually not his kid. And then they did something with some blackmail. I don't know.
And now he's like, kept in line.
Sorry, I would just love if like I make a video, The Boys in chronological order, and it's just this clip. So I think Billy Buster, like he did something with a plane.
And then what's not Black and Guard
Huey.
gone? They're interchangeable basically. The same person, some would say.
The Batman one?
The Batman dude.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He's allergic to nuts, so I don't know how he's doing.
Yes, but yeah. So anyway, in this new trailer, we see a couple of cool developments. So of course, there's still the classic like Homelander, is psychotic and the media stuff, and
he's like drinking milk and all that
he's
stuff.
like moaning when he's milking a cow, which is not great.
Who doesn't these days?
And then Huey is now Billy Butcher's boss, it looks like, and there's going to be a bit of like a tense dynamic there because they're like, you haven't strangled Huey yet, and he's a bit of like a pencil pushing, oh, I'm in the FBI or something. Oh, that's what it kind of looks like. And then two big reveals. We have Jensen Ackles.
Sorry, just loud, annoying, obnoxious flowers.
I thought someone... Okay, that's just a very weird thing, because I see you turn your head, and I thought someone walked in, and I thought you were just staring them dead without saying anything. Just like an intimidation tactic, like... They slowly back out. I stole your ass.
They come in, I just stop them.
I stole your ass, okay?
What was I going to say? Jensen Ackles of Supernatural fame. I believe that's how you say his name, Ackles.
Who does he play?
Well, he's in this one. He's now Soulja Boy. Soldier Boy, not Soulja Boy the rapper. But I also did think of...
He now plays Soulja Boy.
And what was his song? Crank That? Anyway.
What was that one Soulja Boy hit back in the day? I believe it was Crank That.
I learned how to do that dance move, for the record. That like whole dance sequence. Not alone, with a group of friends when we were like 12. Anyway. Jensen Ackles plays the character Soldier Boy.
Realize he's revealed something terrible. I learned that entire dance sequence, by the way. Fuck.
But that looks cool. I like him as an actor. I also did think of Jamie Foxx saying "Soldier Boy" when they're in the chase scene of Baby Driver. The boys now have access to superpowers. We see
they do.
You can take a
Billy
pill.
Butcher's got them laser eyes.
Yeah. So that's kind of. I mean, at first glance, you might be like, are they jumping the shark a little bit? Like, that's a little bit the whole fun of it, is it's guys without superpowers taking on superpowered beings. But we've now had 2 seasons of that, and it also seems like that's playing into the season where they're like, the whole point is that we don't do that. So I think it should be an interesting time, and it looks like there's more violence.
Oh, yeah.
Which you love from the boys. So, good stuff all around.
Amazing. When is it? It's coming out?
June 3rd, I believe it premieres, the first episode.
Ooh.
So coming up pretty
soon.
Pretty soon. Wait, actually, is it June 3rd? Because that's very soon. It is June 3rd. Let's go. It's like in a week.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. Next up, we got some... Ooh, let's save this for a little later, actually, because that's some nice news. We got some Margot Robbie news.
Okay, let's hear it.
We actually have double Robbie news. Robbie been quite busy as of late. So she is going to not only... be in a new Pirates of the Caribbean film. It was, I believe, confirmed, or at least
it was
addressed.
Confirmed, okay.
But she's going to be in a new Ocean's 11 movie. They're making a new Ocean's 11 with her, I believe, from the director of Bombshell, which I haven't seen, but she was in, which is the one about like Fox News or something. So Margot Robbie is all over them franchises.
I guess you could say that, but I mean... Do we need another Ocean's movie? Come on.
No, I feel like, regardless of who's in it, even if they got, Clooney and Pitt back, it's like we've done it now. We know the formula. We know how
we've got what
it's gonna happen. We've got
three Clooney movies and then 1 Ocean's 8 movie.
And also, I mean, they're all the original. Like, there's the original from the fucking 60s with Sinatra and all that. It's like we know the basic idea. It's like it's gonna be putting together a team, and then they plan the heist, and then they do the heist, and you think the heist went wrong, and then actually the heist went right. We get it. But I mean, I don't. Margot Robbie's.
I like
a
Margot
great
Robbie a lot.
actress.
She's
So
a
I don't
really good actress,
I don't
yeah.
mind like all this stuff. It's just I also hope they don't. I'm trying to think of a good example now of an actor they did this to, but they don't like. You know, when they sometimes an actor, they're like, this actor's like the big thing, and they put them just in everything, and then everyone kind of gets tired of them. I mean, I like a little bit Chris Pratt, but I don't think people got like tired of him really. But a little bit like, I don't know. I hope we don't get like a Robbie oversaturation, perhaps. But
Yeah, I get you.
And Robbie in a new Pirates movie. I mean,
I think if there's
hate
gonna
it.
be a no, I mean I think she'd be a good fit for it. She's got like a swashbuckling kind of attitude.
she could be like a adventure-y kind of character.
I just don't think anyone can fill the hole that will be left by the Depp.
No, but at the same time, I would say I don't want to see another Depp one because just like I mean, there have been I'd say 2 in a row that have been pretty poor, and where Depp
There's been one that's been pretty poor.
Where Depp especially has not had the same, you know, and I mean not even Depp as much as like the writing. Also, Depp has not had the same like Sparrow charm. So I would like say like make a new franchise in the same vein as it, but if they want to put the same title on it and just make it kind of like a new adventure with a new character, I could see that. I could see that working. You can bring in some other characters.
New characters, new adventure. Yeah,
could be okay. You could have like a cameo from the Octopus Man or something. So yeah, I'm not.
Who is dead?
Exactly, but he returned in a post-credit scene. Remember?
Honestly, the entire lore behind the 5th one there is just so stupid. Everything I've talked about it before, but everything is just wrong. The compass was given to him by Captain instead of Tiadalma.
Anyway,
what's that about? God.
Yeah. So
yeah. Stop me.
Not crazy. I mean, I don't really feel. When Nick Miller says, "I feel fine, bordering on no feeling at all." That's how I feel about that news. Something that I am excited for, though. Did you see the trailer for 3,000 Years of Longing?
I did not see the trailer for that.
Bit of a sexual title, and a bit of a sexual star in the world's sexiest man, Idris Elba.
Ooh. That was well tied together.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's a bit of a weird, felt kind of gross saying that, but it is, though, undeniably. But yeah, so it's the new film, and I believe his first film since Mad Max Fury Road for George Miller. I know you weren't crazy about Fury Road, but I'm a big fan, and George Miller.
No, I mean I was a fan of it the second time, but yeah.
Okay. And George Miller also famous for the Happy Feet movies. Not even kidding. Wait, no, is he? Yes, he is. I believe Happy Feet and also Babe 2 Pig in the City. But anyway, he has now made this new movie about Idris Elba is a genie, and he is found by, I believe, Helen Mirren? No, Tilda Swinton. It's kind of like a modern genie thing, like Tilda Swinton finds him, but it's also like this weird fantasy thing, and it has all these crazy visuals, and it looks really cool and kind of trippy, and not even trippy, but kind of like Mad Max Fury Road, where it has all these like, crazy like this makeup and all these costumes and all this weird shit. So it looks like it has a cool world. Basically, I'm really.
It's like a dystopian world, kind of.
Well, so it's like,
or is it more modern?
It's a normal like modern world, but then like through the genie stuff, and like I guess it'll also like flash back to like other times of the genie and all this stuff. It looks really cool, so I'm excited.
That does sound pretty good.
Are you a fan of? All right, let me bust out my impression first, and you guess which actor I'm about to give you a piece of news about. Are you a fan of this actor? That was a full impression. That was pretty good.
Is it your Walker?
My Paul Walker? No, it is my Christopher Walken, though. Good guess. Very close. Anyway, yes, that was my Christopher Walken. I'm proud of you for getting that. He kept this watch up his ass. Anyway, he's going to be...
It just cut out and you went electro mode. Ails. So I took his ails.
Anyway, he's going to be playing Emperor Shaddam IV in Dune 2. He's going to be in Dune 2. So that's good, I guess. He seems like he'd fit that world. He's like a...
Come on, say the title fully. Dune 2 Tune.
Dune 2 Tune. And he's going to be an emperor. So I guess... Can you see Walken as like as an old emperor? Mm-hmm.
I can see him as an emperor.
I can see that, yeah. I like.
I mean, between Skarsgård, Isaac, and him, I'd say he's definitely the most emperor-esque.
Did you see... There was a cover from Empire and a little piece that I'll read a little section from here for the new movie The Gray Man, which I think we've talked about a little bit, but it sounds pretty damn promising, I'm not going to lie.
The Gray Man. What was that about?
It is a new action thriller from the Russo brothers, starring.
Okay.
And this is what they wrote in Empire here. A relentless new action thriller which finds Ryan Gosling's CIA hitman on the run from Chris Evans's sadistic sociopathic baddie. Which I'm aware they meant baddie as in bad guy, but it still made me laugh.
But he has an absolute baddie.
A spy CIA action movie with Evans as a mustachioed bad guy. If you've seen Evans with a mustache, that's what that's from. And Gosling as a CIA spy, and it sounds really cool. And the Evans mustache, I literally just wrote here the Gray Man cover mustaches. So, the Evans mustache is something worth celebrating, I guess. Excited for that.
That's not actually quite good.
Pixar announced their latest film, Elemental, is coming next year. The synopsis reads, in a city where fire, water, land, and air residents live together, a fiery young woman and a go-with-the-flow guy will discover something elemental, how much they have in common. Didn't love that.
That doesn't sound great.
But so it sounds like a classic Pixar thing of taking, something very universal, so it's like a city of, fire people and water people and air people, and then
it sounds like a mix between Zootopia and Inside Out.
A little bit, yeah. And then the fire person, the water person figure out that they're actually really similar, and you can already picture. It sounds like a very pitchable movie. Maybe it'll be great. It does sound a little bit like cliche. It sounds a little bit to me like in Encanto, which I started watching. We watched for about 5 minutes, then turned it off. Not because it was bad. I just had to do something. But it sounds a little bit like that, where the premise is
because it was bad.
like very kind of typical. Like, okay, I can see immediately where the message comes from here. But it'll, I'm looking forward to it. It'll probably be good. I'm gonna say.
Fair.
I think we have four more pieces here. There was a new trailer for the next The Predator film. Prey.
Is Keegan-Michael Key going to shoot himself again?
Well, it does take place, I believe, centuries before.
Okay. So
film.
it is probable. So you're telling me there is an absolute chance that
if there's a Keegan cameo, I'd lose my mind. But it's actually going to be set in pre-colonial America, and from the teaser trailer, at least, it looks like the Predator will be hunting, and be fought against by Native Americans of the time with bows and arrows. And
interesting.
It honestly, the trailer, the trailer's a bit of a teaser, it doesn't show too much. I think it sounds pretty fascinating, and this is something that I think a lot of these movies may have missed a bit of a trick with of not doing before, and maybe there is something that they've done with this before, but I always thought maybe someone brought this up actually on a show or something, but Terminator would have been a great franchise to do different eras. You could send almost like Assassin's Creed, almost you could send the Terminator back to fucking Victorian times and to the 1500s and whatever the fuck this kind of, all these historical things. And so this one, the Predator has come to I guess 1600s America, and I don't know, I think that puts a really cool new spin on it.
It does sound really, really cool. But I will say, does the Predator do you think it'll have the same, weapons and abilities and stuff like that? Because if modern day people can't handle the Predator, I don't think bows and arrows will do you great against him.
If Keegan-Michael Key with mini machine guns can't do anything. Well, in the trailer they show it's a pretty cool teaser, actually. They're, hiding in the bushes or something, and then the 3 dots come on them, the Predator's targeting the 3 red dots. So I guess it will. So yeah, but also that honestly makes it much more interesting. I haven't seen the first Predator in full, but from what I have gathered, I could be totally wrong, but it's sort of they sort of have to fight it with limited stuff because they're in the jungle, they're in its territory, they have to figure out a way to do that. So yeah, having to figure out a way with spears and bows and arrows and traps and shit to take down the Predator. Sounds pretty dope, actually. So
it sounds really cool. Honestly, I love not one movie franchise, but just I love movies in general that are set in a more olden times, centuries back. Yeah. AKA The Last Samurai, but stuff like that where it's you kind of get immersed in a world from previous times, and it's just I find it very good. So mixing the Bane of Keegan with that sounds very, very cool.
Then we have a new Daredevil series has been confirmed for Disney Plus. I mean, it hasn't been confirmed by like Marvel, but it was reported by Variety, and they're usually basically like they're pretty
spot on most of the time.
Flawless track record. So Daredevil series coming to Disney Plus. We've talked about it before, so I guess we won't have much to say here, but excited, obviously.
Obviously, I am.
Although
very excited, but
a little cautious.
Little skeptical. I really hope they don't do a Hawkeye with it, because that would be such a shame.
Yeah, because the Disney Plus shows so far have been a little bit varying in quality. I don't think any of them have been terrible or anything, but quite a few of them have been a bit bland, and also a bit kind of like safe Marvel. And I really hope they continue the tone and style of what Daredevil used to be,
like the old, like very gritty, more like down to earth kind of superhero.
Yeah.
Instead of whatever else that's been going on.
Because it is cool to see like him interact with the larger MCU, which if they like more MCU-ify it, I'm sure we'd get like, and then he meets with fucking, Ant-Man or some shit, I don't know. But I would much rather see him in his usual. It's kind of like they did that with Kingpin, they brought him into the MCU and he's getting, hit with electricity from Kate Bishop, and it's like a bit of a goofy action scene, and it's like...
It is a very goofy action scene.
So I hope they don't do that.
And they are obviously all in the same universe, but like imagine how weird it would be if Daredevil's going up against like a bunch of ninjas and all of a sudden Ant-Man pops out and just becomes small. It'd be such a like...
And he's like, does anyone have any orange slices? But overall though, obviously excited to see more of the Charlie Cox. So
yeah,
let's go. And
hopefully some Foggy Nelson.
Oh, obviously, if they don't bring back... Let's start hashtag Fog
Bring
It Up.
Foggy back. Hashtag Fog It Up.
Yes.
Free the fog.
Hashtag free the fog. And then, I guess actually on the Disney Plus thing, let's talk She-Hulk. Let's talk She-Hulk trailer.
Okay. Let's
talk about it.
This
is the first time in a while that I think a Marvel announcement or trailer has gotten a largely negative reception online.
Very negative from what I've seen.
I had one of my friends sent me some post about it from some mainstream Instagram page, and they literally wrote, "Are you gonna have to watch this?" And I was like, "I think
it's
so."
A show,
yeah.
Right? It's not a movie.
Yeah, it's a show. It's 10 episodes or 8 episodes. I don't know. Yeah, but it's a show. And what did you think of the trailer? Because I got a weird vibe from him. Not gonna lie.
I got a very strange vibe from it as well. Again, I kind of watched it like not really paying that much attention to all the details. I'll say it seems very different from what the other shows have been, I think. Like I was just like, she's trying to be a lawyer or something like that. She is a lawyer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ruffalo's in it slightly.
He is. He looks like he's going to be a bit of like a mentor figure for some of it.
Mm-hmm. I do love myself a bit of Ruffalo, so like that's all good, but yeah, I don't know. The CGI was also not the best.
That's the biggest talking point people have mentioned, and it's I tend not to read comments as much these days on stuff, but I read some of the comments and it was funny that people were having this like this like war in the comments of just the dumbest thing where like someone would be like, the CGI is terrible, and then someone writes like, they have 3 months to fix it, they're gonna fix it, and then someone else writes, oh my god, they had 3 months to fix it, you fucking nerd. And it's like, Jesus Christ, guys. There was one guy, I unfollowed this fucking Instagram account because it's the most, I'm not gonna say their name or whatever, also mainly because I don't remember it, but there's one guy who does like movie posts that like just he's the most negative, like mean spirited kind of. Well, he made a post about it. He was just like, all you nerds keep defending this Marvel shit. And I'm just like, oh my god, what a way to start your Instagram
I am one of
post.
those nerds, please.
I was just like, wow, way to like, I really want to read the rest of this post now after you like call me a fucking asshole in the first like 10 seconds. But I don't know, the CGI does look
questionable,
polished, I guess you could say. I think she looks, I mean, if I'm on like her, like the She-Hulk herself, I didn't think it looked that like bad CGI was. I think Ruffalo looks pretty bad CGI.
Yeah, Ruffalo also looks like the main thing. Obviously, she needs to get bigger, but like I thought they made her shoulders pop in a certain way. I was like, that looks strange, like weirdly bulgy.
Well, also I think people were saying, and I don't know anything about the comics except she like breaks the fourth wall a bunch, which could be fun. But like, people are saying she isn't like comic accurate, like she's not big enough or something, and I'm like, I guess, but also she doesn't have to be like literally just the Hulk but a girl, you know.
Yeah.
But I did get a couple of points. I think partially because of the CGI and partially just because of like the look of the show to me looks kind of like a very high budget porn parody. Does it not? A little bit, like with the CGI.
I disturbingly very much see it.
And like some of the, just the way some of it's shot and like the sets and stuff, it looks just like, I don't know. And also it doesn't convey that much of a plot. And then also,
No. What if it is?
it's just a
porn
straight up porno. Like it also, and this obviously doesn't make it a porn, but it has like some lines in it that just
some that are
very
pornography level dialogue. Or what?
Yeah, and they also feel very like early 2000s superhero movie, which is just in a way, I mean, it's like different from what everything else is now, which in a way is sort of a little bit interesting. But also, yeah, it felt a little bit like when they're like, someone at one point I think someone goes like, "Look at your ass," and then at the end she like carries off this guy to presumably, you know, make sweet
to perform coitus.
Yeah, just like a weird vibe that I was like, I don't know, I feel kind of weird watching this. I don't know. I'm just like,
It looks bad, but I'm also intensely aroused.
Anyway, yeah, She-Hulk. Weird vibe. Not crazy about it, but also
weird vibe, yeah.
Kind of
like
curious to see it now, honestly.
I think I probably will end up watching it because it sounds and looks like something different, but whether that difference is good, we'll have to wait and see.
That was a very like storybook ending for you. And then final piece of news, GC Green tagged us on Twitter in this, and I think he wrote something like, this is the most pod-worthy headline of all time. I'd have to agree. Okay. Actually, where does this come from? I believe this was Variety, perhaps? Let me pull up the headline. Variety writes, Vomit, Poop, and Woody Harrelson. Triangle of Sadness shocks Cannes with uproarious 8-minute standing ovation. So... What? Woody Harrelson is in a new film called Triangle of Sadness. Apparently got an 8-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival, and it involves vomit and poop, is what I'm getting from that headline.
What involves vomit and poop? The applause? Like the people shit themselves and vomit.
I believe it's Woody Harrelson's film, but it could also just be the Cannes Film Festival audience.
Yeah, first review. This movie was so good, I vomited and shat myself at the same time.
But, yeah, so... Cool.
I mean, that sounds pretty good. Is it like a Manchester by the Sea kind of sad movie?
I don't know. I looked it up, and Triangle of Sadness makes it sound like a comedy, I feel like. But I looked it up, and it's the only thing on IMDb. Oh, wow. It literally updated within like the past 10 minutes since I last looked at it. But on IMDb, it says, a cruise for the super rich sinks, thus leaving survivors, including a fashion model celebrity couple, trapped on an island. And I believe Woody Harrelson plays the captain of that ship.
Ooh, okay.
So, okay, I'm going to assume it's...
That must be a comedy, right?
I think it's a comedy, but if it is or if it isn't, I'm going to assume Woody Harrelson shits and vomits at the end. So anyway, yeah, thank you, GC Green, for bringing that to our attention. With that in mind, it is now time for...
The Cnews.
Okay, we had an original piece of Cnews, but I think we found a new piece that will one-up it. So we'll again save this Cnews that I found last week for another week, so this will be really outdated next time we get to it. But
really outdated Cnews.
Apparently, the Mission Impossible trailer has leaked online. Because I just saw it trending on Twitter. Apparently it's leaked on... Oh yeah, I mean, if you look on Twitter, you can find people like re-uploading it, and it keeps getting taken down. But, I mean, I've found a little... Oh, yeah, no, here's a little snippet. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, not that we're seeing this, because if we can't get in trouble for seeing it. I literally just clicked on the trending thing on Twitter, and it said Mission Impossible, and someone's posted it. Damn. Okay, but I mean, looking kind of like a vibe.
It do be looking kind of vibey.
Okay, I guess we'll talk about more of that. It'll probably, that's the thing, within the week before this is uploaded, it'll probably come out online. So we'll talk about that next time. But
and move the Cnews even further away.
I guess so. Also, you might not even be around next time, so we'll see. But we'll figure.
That sounds ominous.
You're going on, and you might be dead by that time, so who knows?
And honestly, by the time we film this next one, you might not be alive anymore.
Anyway, cool. Tom Cnews, we're not endorsing the trailer leak, but also, yeah, I went on Twitter and found the thing on trending. Anyway.
Not our fault.
Not our fault. Don't kill me, Paramount. Now it's time for the announcements and such. This was recorded on Sunday, May 22nd, by the way, but we have some comments from the past, like 3 pods, I think. And by the way, the latest Characters We Can Beat Up pod, over 1,000 views.
What?
Crazy, right?
Really?
Because that one
hell?
also started out doing really stinkily. It was like 10 out of 10 on the thing.
We're almost at 1,300 views on it.
Why? Let me see. That's actually our, like...
That's like the second most viewed one.
Okay, no, it's like the 20th most viewed one, but still.
But like the first ones don't really count because that was
back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah, Francis
In
Ngannou
recent
Nutshot
times.
is still number 1, obviously.
Of course.
But also Barbie short doing pretty well. The shorts, I'm just saying the shorts game could be a thing. Anyway,
Shorts game, goddamn, 2,800. Goddamn.
let's read some comments. Wait, first of all, Joe C said the Monkey King should be my boxing name against Big Nasty. I agree. BHL the Monkey King Hudson. So some comments here. We can't go through everything, but I've picked out a few of note. Sean Grant says, surprised BHL didn't criticize the first episode. I think he's talking about Moon Knight, like he usually does. Bit of a snappy one, Sean.
Yeah, slight sass from Sean.
Slight sass, but
He's not wrong though.
I do believe I liked WandaVision episode 1. So get logicked, Sean. Anyway, sorry. No, good stuff. Thanks for listening, Sean. I believe he is a fan of ours. Thank you for listening. I'm not trying to outsass you. Daniel says, another great, enjoyable episode. Possibly the best Tom Cnews ever. Keep up the great work. P.S.
Which episode is this, by the way?
I think it's the one where we talked about Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, Benji pull the plug.
Oh, yes.
And he says, P.S. KSI is boxing in August. Who do you think his opponent could be? Well, I have heard rumblings that it may be, from my sources, that being the internet, Dylan Danis. I don't know if you're familiar.
Dylan Danis. Isn't that Conor McGregor's friend?
Yeah, he's friends with Conor McGregor. He's known basically in the MMA community as the biggest joke of like a person. He's like...
Okay, well, why... I mean, despite that, why would KSI go against him, who's a professional fighter?
I think he'd beat the fuck out of Dylan Danis, though. Because Dylan Danis...
So?
Yeah, he's mostly a jiu-jitsu fighter.
I see.
He hasn't fought in like 3 years, I think. And again, he's just known basically just for talking shit on like Twitter. And he's just known as like... I mean, he beat the fuck out of both of us. But I think in boxing, KSI would probably win. Either that or Alex Wasabi. Which I think KSI...
And would he win against Wasabi?
Yes.
I don't know. The man's been out of commission for like 3 years.
Yeah, but Alex Wasabi beat Reginald III. That is not an indication of boxing.
Everyone beat Reginald III.
Come on. But yeah, anyway, good question though. See, I Told You said, was watching episode 133 on a car journey with my dad and had to turn to this episode, which at the time you just posted, because I was struggling to conceal my laughter at both the Ezra Miller segment and the image of Doctor Strange pissing on Wong. What made it even more confusing was that I only had my left AirPod in, so my dad thought I was laughing at nothing. He 100% thinks I'm insane. What a joke. I'm sorry that your father now believes you to be disturbed. But honestly, if you're listening to the Poorly Planned podcast, it's not far off. Jaden says, Random Cans by BHL's Door. What a joke. And he also says, or she, can we please get a Rampage sequel featuring George and the Monkey King? Call it Hawaii Rampage and have Ezra Miller play the villain. Would make $1 billion worldwide, guaranteed. Very true. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Budget would be $2 billion, though.
Movie Guy says, top 3 fighters George was scared to fight. Big Nasty, the wolf that can fly, Ezra Miller. He also says, who would win in a fight? Spider-Ham minus the Spider-Man powers, or BHL and Freddy? So just a pig? Who would win in a fight between me, you, and a pig? Really, Movie Guy? I'm going to say the pig probably wins. He also says, petition for BHL to ask his flatmates who and why they left the bottle outside his room. I refuse.
You also moved out, are you not?
I have moved out, so I guess the mystery will die with me. Or them? I don't know. That's not a threat for the record. Panda Man 10.
So I guess they will die with this mystery.
Panda Man 10 says, another great ep. Been listening for 1.5 to 2 years now and never commented before, but figured might as well as I've been catching up on the pods that I missed while focusing on school for the end of the year. Kinda cool that Ben and Freddie started college at the same time I did. Love the pod and all the great memes y'all generate. I have incorporated Dumbledore and Morbius into my everyday vernacular. I'm so sorry for the people you know that is a thing, but I also love that. So,
That is great.
thank you. Thank you, Panda Man.
He just walks up in his new uni, just tries to greet new people. Hi, Dumbledore.
GC Green says, I really need to stop lifting weights while listening to the pod. It's getting dangerous. Nearly dropped a dumbbell on my head today after laughing at the whole Wanda Maximoff conversation. Very fair. I'm sorry for endangering you like that.
But also, keep those big gains up.
Keep those big gains up. Let's go. You dropped this king.
People picks up massive dumbbell.
Yeah, you dropped this on your head, king. I'm trying to do like what they comment on like people working out videos on Instagram. They're like, keep it up, king. Movie guy says Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Midness, starring the Benedict who doesn't have a long nose. I feel like the long nose comments are getting a little free throwing here. So you guys are getting a little comfortable with those, aren't you? Let's block.
It's your own fault though.
Yeah, no, I'm too jovial about it.
Report.
ZJ says the tattoo guy poorly planned that the poorly planned podcast tattoo. Very true. Maybe he was, staying true to theme.
Yeah, maybe.
Daniel says another really great enjoyable episode, but the Doctor Strange 2 hate worries me. Thank you, Daniel. I wouldn't call it hate.
Thank you, Daniel. Now let me decimate you.
Thank you, Daniel. Actually, go fuck yourself. No. I mean, there were definitely some comments that were like, I disagree with your take on Doctor Strange, but they were all, from what I remember, they were all very respectful and made some good points. And we can have a respectful movie conversation.
We can have a back and forth without any teeth being broken in.
Yeah, that was interesting. Also, people enjoyed the anime hour segment intro. I got a couple comments about that, which I thought.
God, I will not lie. I laughed so hard. I was like, I was sitting there listening, and it was also like, I woke up, I was like, having a good morning, just chilling, and then it comes on, and you're like, cue it. I was like, oh, if he's included the queuing bit, he might. And then I hear the first tune, and I was like, oh my god, he's queued it. I was like,
I had to do
that shit got me.
I had to do it. ZJ says, when said character in Better Call Saul said, what a joke, I thought of you guys. Also, Chicken Man, what a joke. Chicken Man is what they call Gustavo Fring in Better Call Saul. And then Josie says, Chicken Man, what a Maximilf. Panda Man Tan left one of the comments about Doctor Strange, which, again, lots of nice, interesting movie discourse here. I've just included, just for time, I've just included the part. He says, the one thing I disagree with is Wong, although I also found the Fortify Your Minds line kind of wacky. Wong is infallible and should never be criticized. However, I found the entire Wongda subplot, traveling to Wundagore Mountain, was generally uninteresting. Great pod episode, as usual, Panda Man Tan. I just want to say, the Wongda subplot is the greatest pun I've ever heard. And
that is very, very good.
You deserve an award for that. I wish I thought of that. And finally,
the Wongda.
Finally, Kian says, wow, really deep and analytical anime hour this time, Freddie. Well done. So just a nice comment there. I'm assuming it's not sarcastic.
I don't think so, because it was one of the longer ones. But again, I don't think I went that analytical. It might have just been analytical for me.
Yeah, your standards.
Which, I mean, isn't saying a lot.
But, yeah, thank you, Kian. And those are the comments from the past few episodes, and we have nothing on the fan page this week. Again, this is recorded on Sunday. So, thank you very much for listening to this episode. You can find me...
Let's go.
Actually, no. If you enjoyed this episode, drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and leave a comment down below on your thoughts on all we talked about on the pod, everything good stuff. Tell your friends about the pod. If you're listening on YouTube, we're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can find us there, the Poorly Planned Podcast. Leave a 5-star rating, leave a nice review, hit that follow button, tell your friends. And you can also check out the fan pages and fan-made TikTok down below. You can also find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
God damn, he got through it. You can find me on Twitter at FTK_DaltSniper. You can find me on Instagram at Fidalgar. You can find me on YouTube at FTK Space Gaming. And You can find me on Letterboxd.
What?
At FDK_Thwilms.
What? You made a letterbox?
I did.
What? How am I only finding out about this now?
Because I made it, I believe, yesterday.
Will, you gonna be... Damn. All right. I think next pod we should... Because I doubt people listen this far. Next pod we should bring that up at the start so you get some of them... Some of the
I was
followers.
thinking that, but I was also saying, like, I think it would be a good surprise at the end when I say Letterboxd.
It was a good surprise. All right. Well, next time I'll bring that up at the start, but go check out his letterbox. You can also find my letterboxd at real BHL Hudson, where I'm wildly inconsistent with how often I post things. Anyway,
cool. I'm trying to do every... So how does it work? Do we need to do, like, all the movies we watch? Or are we just doing, like, new movies? Or what's just kind of like a mix?
you can do a mix, I think. But I did FDK_Thwilms. Oh my god. Yeah, you like can leave a review, so you can write reviews so people can see what your thing are. So let's see. #mid patent. Okay, what? You're doing it right. You're doing it much better than I am. Yes. Sexy Cruise #Bushido. Bald Leto. Okay, fortify your minds. You know what? This is Milo #gonorrhea. What the hell? Okay, I don't know if people should follow this. Anyway, good stuff. All right, good things on the letterbox. Great stuff. Anyway, yeah, I gotta get on that level. You're dedicated. Clearly, you're building a world. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Sorry, this is completely taking me out of the group. I need to.
Sorry.
Think of something to actually say at the end here.
Okay, yeah. Ruffalo, we talked about. Did a little bit of Cheetle.
Okay, I got you.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
I took your ass.